Football lovers, Sanbaran Bafetu, welcome back to Football Trends with me, the QP. Now, on today's video, we will be discussing Ndabaya, okay, Safa. Yeah, no. Every time I think about Safa and Yakatala, but then we will be talking about that and also discussing the matter of VAR because it is something that we thought by now it would be here. And mind you, it started off early as in 2022. This is not the first time Skulumang VAR. It started during that time, and right now it's 2026. Understand? So it's been 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, up to 2026, almost 5 years studying the VAR and the Betway Premiership. So recently, Ulo, Minister of Sports, which is Gayton has, finally spoken out to okay. He has given out the money and everything. The only thing, because remember, he said he was promised to VAR will be implemented by this, this season, the 2026 to 2027 season. Last year, it was supposed to be training of the staff being able to train for the VAR. But right now, yeah, no, things are not moving as planned. So, he's not happy, which I understand his frustrations because Nati, we are also not happy as fans because we are thinking this thing is simple. Just put in the money and put in the VAR system. Which doing my own research, I found out it's okay. Definitely this thing is not as easy as we thought it is. So yeah, we're gonna be talking about that and looking at everything. So starting off, let's get to Omji Talapaya Gayton Mackenzie, on what he said about VAR. But I just want us to quickly go back. A few months ago, there was this video. This was released by SABC. Let's have a look at this before we move.
With regards to VAR, as was mentioned previously, we've received, everybody's aware, we've received the funding from the government with regards to that, and discussions are on the way as far as the next steps are concerned. We have to get approval from the leadership, which is the National Executive Committee, and once that approval is received, then we can commence with our training sessions.
Is it on the menu for the season?
For 2026-27, probably not. We could, if things go well, we could see VAR being introduced in the latter stages of the season. But obviously, we have a VAR project team in place, and once they are ready to do their media brief, they will provide much more information as to what the next steps are, how long the next steps are going to take, and obviously when the full integration of VAR will be in our leagues. Look, that is the plan, but like I said, as soon as we can get the approval from the leadership, then our VAR project team will be able to speak to media and let them know exactly what the next steps are and when we will look to implementation. No, that is part of the process that we had to do to present to the NEC, and all the tenders that were presented. The adjudication report was submitted, and obviously that is part of the approval process.
Well, if you listen carefully, Siwalopana, obviously they are waiting for the NEC. The NEC, it's the National Executive Committee, which obviously they are responsible on overseeing everything. So this is the Safa team in a way talking about it. Okay. In terms of VAR, we are waiting for approval, and then also we do have a team that is currently waiting. So what are we waiting for? Honestly speaking, who's supposed to be giving us that approval? Well, the people who are part of the NEC, Dr. Ivan Khoza. But then if we go back to 2022, Dr. Ivan Khoza himself, he said, no, multi-choice, they were interested in helping us fund and also bring the implementation of VAR ku Betway Premiership, or as it was known back then, the DStv Premiership. But unfortunately, ithe maseyifika lapho kuleyo situation, he said there was a problem within Safa. So this is something that is common with Safa, having problems when it comes to, you know, the implementation of things, the progress of things. Nje khona someone or something that is always there trying to make sure that things don't go according to what they want them to go. So it's a big problem for me. But we do have Gayton Mackenzie speaking about the issue of Safa. Again, as I'm saying, it might be a common problem, or actually it is a common problem here, OT. There's always a problem with Safa. Though, I have to say, with the amount of money akhuluma ngayo Gayton Mackenzie lana, it doesn't make any sense. But let's look at this and then we're going to talk after that.
I then took 13 million rand and I gave to Safa. And I can tell you now, that's where I can't do more as the minister. I then took 13 million rand and I gave to Safa. And I can tell you now, that's where I can't do more as the minister. I wrote Safa a letter where I said they should return my money. And Safa asked for 21 days grace. I am just as angry. Because what more can I do? I asked them in a letter, bring back my money, the money of the state. Because I am responsible for it. They said they will act within 20. Because there was, for me, there was no action. We were supposed to have had VAR. So people shouldn't look at me. I'm the minister that put it on the table, that VAR should be there. I did everything humanly possible. If now I'm writing to FIFA. I've already spoken to FIFA, but I'm writing to them. They wanted in writing that I must go another way to get VAR.
Okay. That is kind of a good thing that he's trying to involve FIFA into the situation, because at the end of the day, yes, as much as the NSC, the Safa, the Safa report to NEC. NEC probably double they report to FIFA. So FIFA is the top of the food chain. So Ibuji and then comes the NEC, comes the Safa, and then you betray, you know what into the bottom. So this is good that he's trying to involve FIFA in terms of that, but the amount of money he's talking about here, it's way too little, because looking at the estimations, Buffett on 13 million is not a lot. The Betway Premiership itself, for an entire season, they spend about close to, let's not say it's accurate, but it's close to 900 million rands just for an entire season, to make sure everything goes smoothly in fundings of everything. So you look at that, and then also you look at the implementation of VAR. VAR would cost somewhere around 70, 80 to 90 million rands just to implement it. You know, it might sound a bit expensive. Well, there are some reasons why it sounds like, okay, this thing is so expensive. I'm gonna let you know right now in terms of that. But looking at the CAF spends about around 60 to 65,000 when it comes to VAR, which for each game, not for the entire CAF competition, but for each game. So it's running towards the 1 meter, maybe probably to 1 meter if ever they've many games. But then if not, it depends. It depends who took games. So yeah, it might make sense to say, okay, 13 meter is good, but then you also have to remember that the 13 meter is not the full amount. It is just a contribution in which others as well need to contribute in order to make sure, because they talked about, 20 million being given to Safa. How true that is, but they talked about that around 20 million was already given for the implementation of VAR, and then the 13 should add Rapana just to add things, even though still isashota leyo mali to make sure to bring VAR to a Betway Premiership, because njengoba ngishilo, you need at least, estimated, you need at least 90 million rand just to implement a VAR. Now, why does it sound like it's so expensive? Well, the reason it sounds like it's so expensive is because you look at some of the stadiums that we do have lana eMzansi in South Africa. Okay, FNB is a good stadium. You have your versus Mapida and other stadiums as well that are good, great condition, but others, they are not fit to have a system of VAR. It's not every stadium that is going to be able to have the implementation of a VAR. They need good facilities, stadiums that are well built, well equipped to be able to handle the system of a VAR. So right now it becomes a big problem, especially for the rest of the stadiums. But for me, I feel like with the 13 million and trying to implement at least on the biggest stadiums that we do have as okay, with this stadium and that stadium, they can be able to implement a VAR. As much as not all the stadiums have VAR, we do have stadiums that we can be able to play. So okay, the stadium sisebenzisela for my finals, maybe it can be MTN 8, it can be whichever cup competition. So okay, magdlala the final sidlalela la. Even the last few games of the Betway Premiership, because so okay, they can be able to play there because those stadiums do have a VAR. But then right now it looks like things are not going. Remember, there's still a problem also. Mobutu coach, they are failing to come to an agreement because Safa again has a problem with the fact that they want what they want and the coach wants what he wants. So yeah, inkinga, but we'll see as time goes on, guys, what is going to happen, though it is affecting us a lot, the fact that we've been going for so long without VAR. There's a lot of African countries currently who do have the VAR system, which works very well for them. Though people might be saying, hi, it has to do with Dr. Ivan Khoza is the one who doesn't want VAR to be implemented. I don't know for sure. That is not like factual. It's just rumors, people speaking, because at the end of the day, we use emotions more than using facts. So even right now, 88 million buffet is not a lot, especially for what needs to be done. But yes, it is a lot of money, because 13 million even 1 million, it's a lot of cash. Even 500,000, even 100,000, even 50. But either way, I'm just trying to make a point though, to care as much as it is a lot, it's still not a lot for the implementation of VAR. And yes, Minister Gayton is accurate when he says he's responsible for that cash. And let's wait and see. 21 days will they be able to give back the money, or and some people will be taken to court? I don't know, but we will see. Well, this is it, Buffeto. Thank you so much for watching. Just wanted us to talk about that. I do have a few comments. Vusmuzi, sure, Spong Lapo. Sabelo says, I think they should take the money, build better facilities. Yes, we need VAR, but not now. Definitely, that is something that we were talking about. Uti, in terms of our infrastructures, especially stadiums, it's poor. Even nama cameras that are being used to broadcast, PSL games, they're not the best. They are not the best. If you do not believe me, go and look at Elon, look at the Premier League, look at other leagues as well. How good the quality is from them. They even have those drones. They have a video feed from Abore Free, which it's not part of the VAR system, but it's there. You understand? It's there, and they are using it. So here in South Africa, go PSL. The only thing I feel like yes, by this is because we know how things are run. That is the only thing as by this. But either way, we'll see as time goes on. to what's going to happen. So let's just see with those 21 days. I put it maybe next month, around 24, 25, we will see what will be the next steps taken in terms of that. Because if not, bazotula, and we are still going to watch football without a VAR. While the money is there, everything is there, it's just